Nikola Tesla, the greatest mind of all time, and also a man of mysteries, said that if we knew the magnificence of the numbers of 3, 6, and 9, we would have a key to the universe. So, what does he mean? Did he find a code? This video is going to be the best explanation I've been able to uncover throughout the known universe about the magnificence of these numbers of 3, 6, and 9, and how they are in fact present everywhere in the universe. The numbers 3, 6, and 9 are actually representative of the higher dimensional world, whereas the remaining numbers represent the physical world, and this is proven in science and quantum physics. And number 9 actually is a controller of all numbers, which can control space and time. My name is Erica, and I am an energy worker, I am a healer, I am a psychology student, I'm a student of the universe, and it's been my goal since the beginning of my spiritual awakening that I knew I would be helping in some way to bridge the gap between science and spirituality, to, stop all of the duality between this metaphysical and scientific realms because in fact, all these things that people think of as magic and all this manifestation that everyone is trying with 369, which is kind of what led me to this, it's all just science that we've yet to fully uncover. So I'm going to do my best to keep this video as short as possible, but I really want to explain to you guys, because I see, if you look up on YouTube right now or on Google Nikola Tesla and 369, you come up with a shit ton of spiritual gurus, etc., on all various social platforms that will give you different variations of like a manifestation technique in which you write something down 3 times, then 6 times, then 9 times, or etc. And I'm like, that's not right away, my soul's like, that's not what Tesla was fucking talking about, pardon my language. And so I will show you first how, this is a legitimate thing, that these numbers are in fact proven to run the universe and why. And then we'll dive into the actual math breakdown. Like, I will show you guys exactly the power that these numbers have and what Tesla was trying to say. And for all those of you that follow the law of attraction, you've heard the term vortex. Do you know that initiates from the 369? Quite fascinating stuff. Our universe is so mathematical. Almost every single thing in nature is highly symmetrical and follows geometric patterns. We can see these patterns in the form of the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence, and it's present in many things in nature. Everything is made up of particles, and if we dig deeper at a microscopic level, we reach into the quantum world, which is pure mathematics. Scientists have for a long time used math to describe the physical properties of our universe. But what if our universe itself was actually math? There's a cosmologist, Max Tegmark, and he believes that, as well as many other quantum physicists that are now discovering various sequences around the universe that point back to the fact that we are quite literally living in a mathematical structure. All energy is made up of particles that has properties such as spin and charge, but in fact, everything is a mathematical formula. We live in a mathematical structure. Mathematics is quite literally the cradle of all creation. Every human being in any profession, any activity, needs to utilize math in some way in their day-to-day life every single day. The very universe and reality is math, including you. So, can we find the secret of the universe using 369? I think so. So we'll start with a basic concept of vortex-based mathematics, which is stemmed from the root word vortex. And you can see the vortex pattern in all things like our DNA, nature, the universe. Marco Rodin's original claim was that he had tapped into it and he could model mathematically a previously unobserved invisible energy. And it's the initial impulse, positive force behind creation. This energy is characterized by its linearity. In vortex maths, everything adds up to 9, 6, and 3. Polarized everything. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5 describe our physical world. Therefore, the 3, 6, and 9 are not physical, but they govern the physical world at the quantum level. And the example of that is sound. All of the living things in our world are made up of cells. Multicellular organisms are formed by the division of one single cell. That single cell divides into 2 cells, and then after the division of both of those cells, we get 4 cells, then 8, 16, 32, 64, then 128. In this way, the doubling sequence continues, and finally, we have a full multicellular organism. This is a mathematical decryption of the universe. Around the circle, we see all of the numbers, starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 at the top. What I'll show you here is that if you add those numbers back together, it'll reveal this underlying pattern or an infinite series underneath any larger number that you can create. We're going in the clockwise direction around the circle. Let's start with 1. We draw a straight line, we connect that to the next number, which is 2. This is called doubling. 1, if it's doubled, is 2. 2, if it's doubled, is 4. 4 to 8. And then we have to start breaking the numbers down, because if we double this, breaking it down equals 7. Breaking those down into single-digit numbers, you can see the digital root now of these numbers. And you can see there's a pattern. There's a repeated sequence of 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5. And if you were to repeat that to infinity, it would repeat the entire time. And again, same goes for these numbers if we cut them in half. Adding each digit down to a single, go figure. We get the same exact numbers repeatedly, same as if we doubled the numbers. In both cases, if we double or half these numbers, we get the same numbers. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5 on repeat. And notice, in both of the sequences, the numbers 3, 6, and 9 are always missing. And why are they missing? Is it a secret code? Mystery of the universe? According to a lot of researchers, the numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5 actually represent the 3-dimensional physical world that we live in. And the absence of the 3, 6, and 9 in that sequence is scientific and mathematical proof that those 3 numbers govern the higher dimensional world. All of the numbers are equally important, but the number 9 is the king, or the queen, you can say, as it's the controller of all the numbers. So now let's look at what happens if we double that. No matter how many times we add, so 9 plus 9 is 18, the 36, everything will break down back down to the single digit of 9. Now, what if we cut that in half? No matter what you double or half, the 9 is never changing. It's forming an axis and polarizing all of the numbers, because in this system, we're actually able to give polarity. So look at the 6 and the 3. Let's find out what happens to these numbers if we get the mathematical function. 3 doubled 6, 6 doubled is 12, 1 plus 2 equals 3. 12 doubled being 24. Everything breaks down, no matter which way you do it, halving or doubling. 3 and 6 are oscillating back and forth. None of the other numbers do this, just 6 and 3, just like magnetic fields or duality. So why is this significant? Well, because this is how vibration and motion occur. Energy always moves and cannot be destroyed. Number 9 is the highest energy because it is the answer or source of all motion and vibration. 9 is always absent from the sequence of 3 and 6 because number 9 is the controller of all numbers. Numbers 1, 2, and 4 being controlled by number 3, and numbers 8, 7, and 5 are controlled by number 6. And in this way, number 9 controls all of the numbers. And no other number other than the number 9 is present in its own sequence. Everything will break back down to a number of 9. Doubling or halving, starting from 9, always gets you back to 9, which implies that number 9 represents itself. So we've gone over the basis of 369. It's a mathematical pattern that keeps the world in order. So now let's look into where we can see these numbers in our reality, in our own life and existence. So let's look at frequencies to start. Frequency is the number of occurrences of a repeating event per unit of time. It's also referred to as temporal frequency, which emphasizes the contrast to spatial frequency and angular frequency. We've done a lot of research about this and have found that the powerful frequencies that raise your vibration are the 432 Hertz and 528 Hertz solfeggio frequencies. Scientific study has shown that the 432 Hertz actually reduces anxiety, lowers blood pressure and heart rate, and encourages synchronicity between both hemispheres of your brain, increasing creativity, insight, and intuition. Hertz is sometimes called the DNA repair frequency. This is the bioenergy of health and longevity. It's the harmonic vibration of our physical heart. This frequency is the miracle note of the original solfeggio scale. The 432 Hertz and 528 Hertz frequencies are fundamental to sacred geometry and vortex maths. 4 plus 3 equals 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, and again 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 8 is 15, which breaks down to a 6. The solfeggio frequency scale was introduced in the 11th century, and as you can see, if we break these numbers down, each one breaks down to the single digit of 3, 6, or 9. This ancient solfeggio scale, known as just intonation, is best recognized for its use in the soothing Gregorian chants, considered by many musicologists and scientists to have a positive effect on both the mind and the physical body. So now let's look at a few examples of how this is present everywhere in the universe. In vortex math, 3, 6, and 9 has the highest frequency and vibration that govern the physical world at the quantum level. So with the circle, anytime you divide it by any angle, each one breaks down to a digit of 9. And the same, if we look at polygons, we get the same digital root of 9 for every single polygon. And the number 9 follows a space up to infinity. So it makes it clear that the number 9 is present from the singularity of a space to the infinity of a space.